All right, guys, welcome, guys, to day six of the live. Today, I am actually live streaming to you at 3 a.m. in the morning. Okay, 3 a.m. in the morning. And when most people are going to be like, dude, that is insane. You're like, I don't even believe you. You're live streaming at 3 a.m. in the morning. Why in God's name would you be doing that? So I want to go ahead and share my screen so you can kind of see that, hey, Emmanuel actually is telling you the truth. So let me see if I can find the time, the current time. Let's go ahead and do this right now. Let's go ahead and 3:42. It's 3:42 in the morning. I am coming to you guys live at 3:42 in the morning. Okay, like basically, it's so early that some people are still in deep in sleep, dreaming about life, dreaming about the awesomeness, dreaming about all the cool stuff that happens on a day-to-day basis, making sure that they're still basically sleeping. But let's go ahead and talk about what we're going to be talking about today. So today is basically I am titling today as Marketing Monday. Okay, Marketing Monday. What is Marketing Monday is where I basically go ahead and share marketing tips with you guys and basically tell you guys about a few things about grow your business, especially if you're a small business owner. Right now, most of you might be making a lot at 3 a.m. in the morning. That's because my a little insane for the next few days, for the next 5 to 6 days. So if I don't for the next, we're doing a 100-day challenge. So the only time in my schedule that I is right after my workout. So I've been up since 1 a.m. this morning. I worked, did a few things for the business, and now I'm actually going to go ahead and to you guys to make sure that you guys are basically getting the most value, you know, this YouTube channel. So the first I want to go ahead and talk about to you guys is I want to talk about we're going to be focusing today on basically finding the right audience. Should you be running advertising? I'm not going to be picking a niche and picking an industry. So let's talk about realtors. So the reason I want to talk about realtors is because in America there's this huge, I don't know, push. Everybody wants to be a estate. Everybody wants to be that next real estate agent. Everyone wants to pretty much this huge obsession with like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go get my real estate license. But being honest with you, only about 87% of realtors actually make it. Probably even less than that. I would say probably only about 13% actually make it. Not 87%. 87% actually fail out, and that is honestly just because most people don't understand what it actually business. Most people don't understand what it takes to get in the industry. Because let's say you are an expert baker, okay, really good at baking, right? And I want to kind of to I want you to visualize this, right? And obviously, the only way I make you guys visualize this is by showing you guys my amazing handwriting. I'm going to be talking about this in a little bit, but where's my whiteboard? There we go. That's my whiteboard. Let's say you are an amazing baker. That means you can bake anything and everything. Anything and everything you can bake it, right? So you have your brick and mortar store. You have your brick and mortar. Your brick and mortar store is. You have your brick and mortar store. It doesn't matter how good you are. If nobody, okay, walks into your store, if nobody walks into your store, if nobody comes, no one walks and says, "Hey, you know what? I want to do business with you. You know what? I want to come learn. I want to come eat some of your cooking, some bacon." It's only a matter of time before you end up going out of business because guess what? Most of everything from the oven to the place is either rented or it is leased. Okay. Or it is leased. Okay. Now you guys know I have a phenomenal handwriting, so basically, just figured shit out with you. But basically, it is either rented or it is leased. So I want you to think about it from that perspective of if you're renting, that means you have what? You have bills to pay. Okay. You have basic mortgage for the place, and you have or monthly loan payments that you're making every month or bi-weekly or however it is that your setup is for your bakery, right? So your ability to attract customers, your ability to get people to come in the door, your ability to get people to walk in the door, your ability to get people to basically in some way shape or form come do business with you will pretty much determine if you're going to be able to pay your bills. Okay, now it doesn't matter. I am a um You could say, "Hey, I am a what do you call this? You could be a dentist. It doesn't matter if you're a dentist. It doesn't matter if you are, in the dental industry. It doesn't matter if you are like, hey, I'm a doctor. Like for instance, is a phenomenal my orthodontist. Most of you might not know it, but I have and the Invisaligns that I have on are basically that's on my screen, guys. Hold on. The Invisalign that I have on, it cost me a few grand for it, right? But he's always on every day, posting on social media. He's every day promoting his business because he knows that if he's not promoting his business, if he's not getting new people to show up, if he's not getting new people to do business with him, he's not going to be able to pay the bill to keep his fantastic staff that he has working for him. And which, by the way, his lines in here in North Carolina, go ahead and check out okay, Gold Cloud Orthodontics, and that's in South Carolina. Go check them out. Basically, for the most part, is you need to be able to get more people in the door. So I want to go ahead and talk to you guys about introduce you guys to what Facebook ads is and how it kind of like very new or basically not really for per se. So with advertising. Now, it's gotten really, really expensive as far as the Facebook ad side because there's a lot of people that know about it now. There's a lot of people that are in using Facebook ads. But let's talk about Facebook ads, right? Because it's something that you are going to be running. It's probably the easiest ads to set up, and the one that probably will cost you. It won't cost you the most amount of money because Google ads will actually cost you more. I don't want to talk about Google ads because Google ads is something we do, but I'm not necessarily going to do it for the sake of I'm not really a huge Google Ads expert, just being fully transparent. But let's say we are basically looking for braces, right? Let's say braces or Invisalign, right? You got to think about it from perspective as to what your customer is looking for. What are they searching for? So what you want to do is you want to go to Facebook as facebook.com/. Let's see if I can do orthodontic. I'm gonna try that. Okay. Now, what you want to do is obviously want to launch it for, and I'm pretty sure I'm spelling this wrong here. Let me see if this works here. I'm gonna search one. I'm gonna use an example because all I need is an example, and then because another reason why the Facebook ad library does exist is because for the longest time been going to before Congress testifying about private. It's just an effort of transparency. So you can go ahead and see the ads are currently running. I'm going to break it down to you as far as what everything is. So this is basically think about it from a perspective as to this is your ad primary text. Okay, this is your ad primary text. This is basically what people are going to read. This is think about if they actually want to think about it as the captions for your right? So basically, what people are going to do is they're going to be like, okay, hey, what are your job is to pretty much you need to call out your audience and basically get the attention. So for instance, we can see this one. So this is a business insurance. I can tell this is business insurance by the creative, right? And basically, the image here is called creative. So it says a healthy company culture is the foundation for innovation, stellar customer service, a key component. This to me, and I'm no offense to whoever wrote this, but I don't see any reason why so I'm willing to bet that this has cost them a lot of money. A great advertising is one in which you are able to appeal to a few things. You're able to appeal to the persons, your prospects. You're able to appeal to one. You need to call them out. Okay, get a hook. Okay, who are you basically advertising to? Who are you advertising to? If you pay attention to this right here, okay, he's just said that or whoever's wrote this is culture is the foundation for. Now I understand this is business insurance, right? Totally understandable. How do you define company culture? Most likely this is a boosted post, okay? Which if you're boosting posts, if you're a business owner, you're boosting posts, I do not recommend that you boost posts because boosting posts is not intentional. Whenever you actually do run Facebook ads, what ends up happening, you are actually being intentional to go out there. 90% of the work is being done by the algorithm, right? So the algorithm that you get from when you actually go on the ad, basically your ads manager to basically create an ad, all right, which I'll be talking about that later in next marketing. When you go into your ads manager to actually go ahead and launch Facebook ads versus when you boost. a post. Okay, these are two and actually using the ads manager are completely two different posts. It's just you basically trying to get more eyeballs, and actually ads managers should get more intentional, and you get actually a lot of help. The algorithm actually does help you a lot to actually go ahead and run through and actually get those things taken care of. But I digress. So let's go ahead and kind of get into call this a very intentional post. I want to actually call pick from. So the ad library, you can basically see what other people are doing. And then this one's kind of interesting. It says, "Are you tired of paying Uncle Sam?" Right here. Index Universal. So this is trying to sell Index Universal Life, and then you can see this is kind of an interesting, uh, basically captive video. Now I'm not gonna play the video to watch the video as to we don't know. You can go research it for yourself. Now there's also different a little bit, but I want to just basically kind of give you the on the line as to the front end of the what happens on the front end when you see the ad, and then obviously then we're going to start talking about what happens on the side of things when you're actually behind the scenes of the ad, right? So this is basically what as a consumer, what you as a customer sees is you basically go in and see, okay, I click on this, I like it. Attention, all fire, all first responders, police five. This is very specific. And if you see the page title here is First Responder in Insurance Solutions. So they are very specific. They are targeting first responders. Very, 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 very specific. I cannot stress this how important it is for you to actually be specific, because when you are specific, what ends up happening is you end up happening to have situations in which yes, if I was a firefighter, first responder, if I was a cop, or a nurse or a medic or whatever it is, and I'm seeing this, I'm like, okay, okay, so this is a thing for first responders. Okay, so now what's next? Um, New 2023 state approved life insurance policies. There's nothing unique or special about this. It's not necessarily like there's a special policy for first responders. There is no special policy for first responders, but you're personalizing it and making them feel special. There's no special policy. There's nothing like here. It's like, whoa, such policy. There's really nothing. There's nothing special here. This is based a pitch for life insurance, but you're just kind of being a little bit more specific. Now, the odds of this rate is going to be on this. Hopefully, the conversion rate is good, but basically, you can see here new for all first responders, 2023 term and whole life. So you kind of also want to be current with the times. You want to be current with the times. So if they said 2021 policy, you'd be like, whoa, okay, 2021 is past. Remember, the human brain does not like to think, because when it comes to thinking, they're exhausting energy, and people do not like to exhaust energy. So you want to make sure your ad is as simple as possible. Another thing about this is we can build a custom plan. This is very you see how they're using gaps. Reading level. I'm gonna say this to you, and most people don't understand this. Most reading level is a fifth grade reading level. Fifth grade level is a fifth grade reading level. That means that a lot of people cannot read past fifth grade. So you want to make sure your ads and people are not don't necessarily go on social media, open Facebook, open Instagram, and say, hey, you know what, I want to click on an ad. You have to understand where your consumers are. Now, why a lot of people who are going to click on this, you have to be emotional when you do your ads. Whenever you're doing your ads, what's going to end up happening? Women that are going to click on your ad, and you have men, just because men always you have to appeal to the logical. Like we have a lot of male based off of the YouTube video, because I am actually being ads. We do have male and female, but what ends up happening, we get a lot more lean, a little bit more female on the advertising side, because that's also appealing to emotions. Now, whenever you're doing ads, there's one I like recommend you come to filters here, and I recommend you select active ads, not inactive. And you want to select ads that have basically been running for at least a month. Okay. All right. So you want ads that have been running for at least a month. To scroll down here, give it a second. Um, Kick in. Now, all active ads is basically somebody is still paying for this. And if they've been paying for it for 30 days, then that means that this is actually working in some way, shape, or form. Okay, so that's where you find it is here active, and then it started running on June. So this is an example of insurance. Now, I do recommend if you recommend that you use your face, your facial structure to advertise. Now, what are you going to advertise? Let's say, back to the baker stuff. If you are a bakery, you can just come up here and just type in bakery. And when you type in bakery, it will pull up actual bakeries. Okay, so we type in bakery. We can see here what other people are advertising for bakeries. So using this, you know, Dana's Bakery, our ice cream, black and whites, turn you, this is very much, very routine. These images are very easy to make. You can make these images on Canva. But here you see this one where you have everything else is basically, images, but you see here it stands out where this girl is actually here. And, if we play this, it's a video of a person. The odds of people clicking on the video and engaging more, they will engage more with a video than they will with an image because the image doesn't look like you put in much effort. But when you see the video, okay, wow, this person actually did actually put in effort. And the reason why I'm kind of trying to show you guys more ads is because it's about 58% of business owners do not worry about advertising. They don't understand about marketing. Their job, their thing is they're going to rely on referrals. And I want to tell you guys this. So my call it. I want to kind of share with you guys this. So I usually go to acupuncture. I don't know if you guys know what acupuncture is. Acupuncture needles poked in your back to basically kind of relieve the tension and relieve the pressure that is in your back because there's always it is a built up tension and a built up pressure, especially if you sit for long periods of time. That's usually what ends up happening. Now, I remember having a conversation with a guy I was getting acupuncture from, and I was, why aren't you open on um, Tuesdays on specific days? The specific day, only a few specific days out of the week, he's actually open. And I was like, why are you only open? And then he's like, well, I don't have enough customers. And I was like, okay, fair. Why don't you have enough customers? He's like, well, that's because we don't advertise, we don't market. We actually just rely on referrals. And when you get there, he just gives you a business card, and it's like, take this business card, use this card to basically go ahead and, if you can, and all that stuff, right? Which actually does work. It does. It takes a lot of time, a longer period of time to actually build the referral network, build a referral, anything. It takes a much, 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 much frame than it is when you are to basically. Um, Let me know, guys. I'm kind of seeing I'm watching the play, and I'm seeing the video quality is a little bit lower than I expected to be because I'm actually recording in 4K, but for some reason it's only outputting in 720p. Let me see here. Okay, no, that's fine. But I spoke, and you need to basically be um what's the word? You need to. He's like, no, I don't really want to be advertising because if I'm advertising, then all that stuff and all this and that and that. Long story short, he didn't want to be bothered with spending a single dollar on anything, and you know what that ends up costing them, customers. Because I'm like, how many customers do you see a week? He's like 16. I'm like, how many can you handle? I'm like, he's like, I can handle 16 a day. So just think about the potential there. Okay, he's had seen 16 people over a 7-day period versus he can actually handle 16 in a day, right? So he's probably making $1,200 a week. He could be making a day over a 5-day period. That is the importance of importance of actually um, marketing your product more people into using your service in any way, shape, or form. Okay. Now, it kind of another example. This is based off of my personal experience when I was at basically the insurance space, and to kind of understand. I'm going to share my screen here. So when I first started out in insurance, and most of you have been watching me, if you've been watching since day one, you would pretty much um, understand that I pretty much shared how I was working for a company that said make a list of your top 25. Okay, that's what they said. They're like, we needed to make a list of your top 25. And I was like, sure, okay. And this ended up costing me my friends. Okay. And then I only sold one policy that was $120 or something like that payout. To which By this day, I haven't gotten this money. They're like, oh, we mailed it to you in a secure deposit card. No, they didn't mail the money to me in a secure. You just get this money. Sold the policy, never did that. You get this money, and it's been, if you're in 4 years, almost 3 to 4 years. So I mean, my $120, guys, plus interest. Just saying. But a few months later, less than a year later, I ended up working for a different company that basically were don't actually have you make a list of your top 25. You do here, we actually have you purchase leads. So what the way their system worked was like, hey, we will generate the leads, or we will purchase the leads from, have a um, marketing generate a lead, and you just go ahead and purchase it from them for basically 8 to maybe $10 per contact. Okay, so it's $8 to $10, basically what we would spend, especially if we were basically purchasing, the lead. But when basically a form of marketing when you purchase it, because somebody has already gotten you the interest, generated interest for your client, and now what ends up happening is they're reselling that data back to you for, a few dollars. It probably cost them $2 to generate the lead if they're really good, and then obviously, they're selling it to you for $8 to $10. But what I went from, selling one policy in 6 months to selling anywhere from 5 to 9 to 11 policies a week to market it. Now, then again, there's those business owners that like feel that they money. I understand. I understand. You don't want to pay a single dollar for anything. But this is my belief. Okay. When you first start in business, I don't think you should be spending money in business. Time and little money to get the reps in. Okay. Little money to get your reps in. And once you've built the reps, once you've basically gotten, the connections, once you've got the good reviews, the positive word of mouth, you ask your customers, hey, can you give me reviews? Okay. They give you reviews for in exchange for, you can give them a sense of something that makes them feel like they belong in any way, shape, or form. It could be like a t-shirt, it could be shorts, it could be pens, it could be something, right? Or it could be a gift card, right? Just it cannot be less than $1. But once you get this goodwill, what you want to do now is you want to go ahead and say, okay, I'm going to now run advertising because I already have a proven system, a system, and a proven framework. Okay, a proven framework. When you have a proven system and you have a proven framework, you can actually go ahead and that is what you can actually you can go ahead and start running ads and running, getting people to actually click on your ads. All right. Now, it's still kind of bugging me that the video now as because it in my screen here when I'm recording it's like phenomenal, and what I'm seeing right now being presented to you guys is not 4K. I'm gonna have to fix and see in the next few days between this and my next and future live are coming up, guys. Okay, so let me know what you guys think about the advertising. Let me know if you're running ads. I'm very curious as to if anyone is running ads. I'm very curious as to what your experience has been. I'm very curious as to what you're seeing. But Russell Brunson says this. He says, where we can spend the most amount of money to acquire a customer wins. So whoever can spend the most money to acquire a customer wins. Okay. So if you're not spending, you know, money, if you're not advertising, if you're not, doing whatever it takes to get more customers in, doing whatever it takes to get more people in the door, what you'll end up doing is you are pretty much in a situation where your business last long, or if it is going to be hanging on a very thin leg. I'm pretty sure you guys have like driven small businesses, those brick and mortar businesses, the signposts are almost falling down, and the business owner regrets ever starting a business because they you know in a position where they've burnt every bridge, so they can't even go get a job. And obviously, getting a job is kind of like most for in entrepreneur world is like taboo, but you gotta do what you gotta do. But You don't want to be that business that's like signpost is for people. You hate your life because you thought that business was going to be something that was going to be, the next best thing. You're going to become a millionaire. Now look at it. You're just to making the same amount of money that you were making, and it's not exactly where it should be. All right. So that's kind of one other thing as well to kind of take into account as far as when you start a business is what is your marketing plan? How am I supposed to get people in the door? How am I supposed to get people to come, purchase from me? How am I supposed to get people to come buy from me? These are a few things in which you need to actually take into account. These are things you need to pay attention to when you're in business. Now, I covered a little bit of intro of Facebook ads to kind of give you guys a perspective as to what is currently out there, what's currently actually, going on. But and obviously leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And then obviously I'm going to talk about, I'm going to be sharing with you guys an insight. Let me even just go ahead and give you guys a little sneak peek because most of you like, I don't want to be running ads. I don't want to be bothered with having to, um, you're like, I have a business to run. I have things that I should focus on. I want to be bothered with advertising in any way, shape, or there's a software, there's a tool called Go High Level. Is it has allowed us to be able to build a very successful software business. The- We sell memberships. This is something that you can also do as well, and this is something that I teach as well when you join the Road to 30 coaching program. And just basically jump on a one-on-one Zoom call with me. And I walk you through the process, give you the action step-by-step frameworks, even shit to how you can go ahead and get your customers. I'm not trying to make a plug or push anything to you, but one of the things that you can do as well is you can incorporate with a software, with a tool, the ability to launch ads directly, okay, from the software. This is even if you don't have any experience at all. You have zero experience at all. All you got to do is click, come here, launch new campaign. When you click launch new campaign, you search for industry. If your industry is here, let's say we have a, let's say dental business. Okay, you come pick a template that makes sense to you, 45 minutes. And if you don't see it, you're like, hey, like for instance, this consultation, you're like, oh, nice. This is Invisalign. If you are an orthodontist, come up here, choose this template. And when you go and come up here and choose this template, it's just going to give you a few things for you to fill out. You can select the lead form. I'm going to talk about this lead form landing page and Facebook Messenger later on as everything kind of progresses. But you come up here, lead form, choose your daily budget, website, copy the optional info, and set up all this. Once you're done, all you have to do is just basically just fill out what it's asking you for expense section, and then you can fill this out. Once you're done, just go ahead and click launch new campaign. Once you launch campaign, it's as easy as that. You don't have to go into the ads manager. Now I'm going to be doing a comparison in the future as far as using this tool and as opposed to also using the ads. Life's going to be short, guys, because I have to kind of have a flight. That's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. And it's awesome. I will see you all on day 7. Okay, day 7 is going to be day 7 soon. I'll see you guys on there. And